Everyone,
Hi, we
hello,
are
guys.
live. Hello, and welcome to another Do As We Do Live. I'm here with our guests today. Please introduce your all selves.
Well, I'm Kris. I am from Life
Just
with
give it to
Grams.
her.
And we got Grams behind me chatting it up now.
Awesome.
I'm going
We love it when we have
That's
special
it.
appearances by Grams.
to come back and tell you.
Okay, Mary. See you soon, girlfriend.
I'll call you
All right.
if I see her nice and call her and pray her.
All right.
Whatever her ball calls.
All right, girl.
Sometimes
Careful. We're on live. You can't be
get
cursing.
crazy.
I
One day I had this. I'm not kidding.
know. Okay, real quick. Tell me the
I had
story.
this fire
Yeah.
of the people.
Sorry.
No, don't worry. I mean, that's
They
awesome.
me the fire.
They did?
I said, you gave it to mine. He said, well, you're here. I want to give it to you. Right here.
All right.
I'm going to show you.
Okay, I'll see you soon, girlfriend.
Thank you for that. That's awesome. Hello. Thank you, Michaela, for joining us, and Angela for joining us. But that is a sheer example of living in their reality. You know, whatever they say, you roll with. And that is you're doing as we do. Like, it is the epitome of what we're preaching here.
I'm right here.
Okay,
If you
girl.
want it, you come
Yeah, and
out.
Taylor loves
I think
Grams
that's
and her
none of the
stories.
guns,
All right.
But he really likes that.
Okay, I'll come see
That
you
one.
in a few minutes. I'm right here.
When that had nothing to do with yours.
Okay.
It's yours.
All right.
You don't have to tell nobody.
Okay,
Your
girl.
head.
My head's smart.
Yes.
All right.
I'm right out here.
I see you. I'll come
Beautiful.
get you.
Yes, Fanny Mary is beautiful. We agree. Grams and Kris are amazing. Yes, they are, Sherry.
Hope you don't lock me out here now. She shut the door, but
No. You should have like a safe. I'm surprised you don't have like a safety key behind you.
I know I should for this sliding door. You never know.
You never know, right? We use an automatic lock system that, I can monitor things coming and going, but it's definitely one. It's either lock them all in and keep them safe or monitor, pick one. But
Yep.
no, we appreciate you. And that's why Do As We Do was founded. We are a 501c3 that are helping the family caregivers like you and the millions of others that are out there financially, emotionally, mentally, and educating those future family caregivers that everybody doesn't realize is they're coming or they're already there, right? So we appreciate you so much for joining us, and we love when Grams / Mary jumps in there and makes appearances. So I'm, as Grams was talking, I was saying hello, letting everybody say hello and thanking everyone for joining us. We appreciate you so much. If you have a question, please leave it in the comments as we chat today. And hello from Georgia. Thank you, Rebecca. So I wanted to talk a little bit about, we are going to go into the giveaway. So stay until the end so we can talk more about that, folks. But about the Grams niece coming to visit you all. I saw that the other day, and I think that's the point you made in the TikTok was just kind of like, God, why aren't more people watching her so they can learn?
Well, I appreciate that, but it's all been trial and error, and it's all been stuff that I've learned through this experience, and that's why I do share on TikTok, is because I want people to get that message, and I want people to stop fearing dementia. I don't want people to be afraid of their loved ones with dementia or Alzheimer's. Yes, dementia and Alzheimer's can cause behavioral issues and things can happen, but your family is always going to be your family, regardless if they remember you or not. Your family is your family. And family goes beyond blood too. Family is connection and is, emotion like that. So my grandma's niece, I haven't seen her since my great grandma's funeral, which was in 2006. And so I think that was around the last time my grandma had seen her as well, because she lives in Florida and, you know, families happen, you know, life happens.
Yeah, life happens.
So her niece has been following us, our journey on social media and stuff. And she's reached out to me a few times and we've connected and communicated, and she had reached out to me saying that she doesn't want a funeral to be the next time she sees my grandma.
That's awesome.
She really said that she had the time and, you know, was able to make the trip, and she wanted to do it sooner than later. And so we set it up. She had some flight miles because her husband works. And so she got to hop on the flight fairly cheaply and came here to visit. And it was honestly one of the best days I think my grandma has had in a really long time.
That's amazing.
The love and emotion that was shared amongst the two of them, or between the two of them, it was incredible. So I don't think that my grandma could verbalize who she was seeing, or maybe even, you know, maybe
did she call out anybody else's name by chance?
No names. Okay. My grandma really doesn't do well with names. The only name I ever hear her say is her own. Every once in a while, she'll say my mom's name or her sister's name. But yeah, there was no names, but it was the reaction. It was all about the energy transfer. And I think that's really important. I always get people reaching out to me on TikTok asking, you know, like, what should I do when I go visit my grandma in the nursing home if she doesn't know who I am and things like that. And I really think your approach is going to be one of the most important. Yeah. My grandma's niece didn't approach my grandma saying, do you know who I am? Look, it's me. It's Regina. Do you know who it is?
Don't do that. What do you mean? Do you remember the one time when you did? Blah, blah? Like,
remember when I was 10 years old and you got me that toy for my birthday? And, you know, and it's like, your brother is my dad. Your brother, do you know your brother? And just imagine being the person with Alzheimer's on that receiving end, and your brain is already clouded, and now you have someone
and they feel guilty. Like it's like this guilt, like I should remember this person and why don't I, right? Don't put that, like me as a salesperson already feels guilty when somebody says, yeah, I met you at the last conference. I'm like, I always say, what? I might have been drinking and I've slept since then. So help me. Like, you know, so can you imagine somebody with going through a cognitive disorder that is absolutely trying to remember a family member? Don't do that to them, people. Don't.
Yeah. And it's really hard because I've been on that end too. I always admit it. When I first started this journey, I was the girl, had a photo album in my back pocket at all times because I would show grandma, Kelly, Casey, Kristen. I'm Kristen. I would do that because I wanted so bad. I wanted her to hold on to me. Yeah. And once I let go of that, me and my grandma's relationship has only grown since. Awesome. Because it's about the love that you give and receive. Yeah. Going back to that initial, you know, do you remember me? And then the person with Alzheimer's will be like, get the F out of my face. You know, and then the person is like, feels bad as having a loved one with dementia. You're like, oh my God, she hates me. She doesn't know me. I want everyone who ever has thought that to get that out of their head. Yep. It literally has nothing to do with you. It's not personal.
It's not about you. It's about them. It's about the dementia. It's not about you.
And I think that's a really important component because talking about family visits and things like that, I have many family members who have told me verbally, well, Mary doesn't really know who I am, or Mary doesn't remember, so it doesn't matter. Or Mary doesn't know, so it doesn't matter.
I hate that.
Matters. Yeah. Okay. Because that day that my grandma's niece came over, my grandma's energy, her whole being was brighter, lighter, happier. And it was just because of the exchange of love. There was no, who are you? Do you know me? That stuff didn't matter. I'm giving you the love that you gave me when I was a child, and I'm hoping you receive it. And that's the way it worked for us. I really need people who take it personally to try. We have the ability to change our mindset. We're in control
right now.
Cognitive ability. Yep. They don't. So over and over again, you really just have to tell yourself, like, my loved one knows who I am. They just can't place it, or they just can't verbalize it.
Yeah.
Because I swear, the way that my grandma can hold my hand or look at me tells me all I need to know. She knows me. She's comfortable with me and she loves me.
Yep.
And that's really the most important part.
And you hear that when you record things like when you're having a bad day and your grandmother's trying to console you and her advice to you, like, is clearer than any of, like, for some reason, I don't need you to translate her speaking, right? When she says, she's slower in her words, and her words come out so just smoothly when she's trying to console you and tell you you're awesome, and it's all about those stupid people, and your heart, like all of that. Oh, I just get all like emotional about that, but it's true. It's that connection, and if people would get out of their own way. I get it. We're all afraid of things, but the amount of regret that I worry about some of my family members feeling when she goes, it's just because they get in their own way, right? My mom thinks that, is Grams coming to say hello?
No, the neighbor's saying hello. Okay. I don't think she heard you, Riley. She's a little busy. We'll see you later, okay?
Oh, that's so funny.
The neighbor loves Miss Mary.
The amount of, like, luckily my mom thinks from time to time I am either my sister-in-law or my niece, right? And because she grew up with my niece and we both have very long black hair. Well, my niece, when she's been around, my mom will think that she's me. And I'm like, just go, don't correct her, just go with it. Just go with it. Like, because you were right. When I was holding on to wanting my mom to remember who each person was, it was so much more draining, like, than when I started just living in her reality, which, it started happening probably within the last year, that it is pretty, like, amazing feeling. Like, I still get anxiety about things, right? Things that are out of my control. But when it comes to her, we roll with it. Like, whatever the story is, when I know she's trying to tell me a story about something and she's not connecting, it's not connecting the dots. That's okay. I give her the words, like, yeah, you mean that sign. Yes. Or that and we just roll with it. It's hard, but it makes, in the end, it feels so much better for both me and her.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Letting that, just releasing that barrier of yourself and accepting it. It really is like an acceptance of sorts. Like, yeah, this is it now, because I agree. In the beginning, I was holding on because I hadn't accepted what Alzheimer's really was yet. I thought, my grandma loves me, so she's not going to forget me because I am the best and she knows it.
Yeah.
So, like, I really tried to hold on to that. And it was more heartbreaking for me every time she wouldn't say my name. It was more heartbreaking every time, so really just accepting the acceptance of self for me creates a better environment for all of us.
Absolutely. And it gives them less anxiety about not remembering somebody that they know is probably, that they feel in their heart is an important person they should know, right? Like, that is absolutely something that is very, very important. And I just have to say to everybody who's watching, thank you so much, Pam. The first time she's watching a live, everyone else, I'm trying to tell you all, thank you so much. We appreciate you all for joining and sharing. From Indiana, sorry. See, my glasses are foggy today. Woo! And yes, everybody is learning. Thank you, all the caregivers, for all the work you do. 20 years. Like, that is nuts that people have been doing what they're doing for as long as they, like, I can't even, it breaks my heart, especially when I hear about when they started so young. There was a young lady named Christina Brown that I first saw on the Ways and Means Committee, that I'm going to stop doing this because that she was 16 when she started caring for her mom. And she made it through high school. And when she was appearing on this Ways and Means Committee, I'd never watched anything like this before in my life. I didn't even know what C-SPAN was. But she was now telling people at 25 what she went through from 16, up until barely graduating from high school. And this doctor who was testifying with her said our laws were developed for when we were dying at an early age, but now everybody will need at least 2 years of care going out. And we're all living longer, 80s and 90s. I pray, my mom's 75, but it's like, please don't live until you're 100, go out with a heart attack, or something, grand.
Terrible, but I said the same thing. I said the same. Everyone always jokes that my grandma's gonna live forever. And I'm like, right now she's good and comfortable, but when it gets to a point, I don't want that to drag on for years and years and years.
For her, I don't, because of her dignity and because of the strong woman that my mom, she's still in there, and she wouldn't want somebody having to take care of her like that, when she can't even, clean herself or walk or feed herself, because that's what those last years are like for someone with, full blown Alzheimer's. So yes, like we, doing what we're doing now and DoAsWeDo was started. It was kind of a pun from my mom always saying, don't do what I do, but do what I say, And this is the opposite. DoAsWeDo. And we're telling you to talk about this with your loved one, if you don't have a plan and you live and don't die, like say you have a stroke, you can get dementia, a heart attack, if you're alcoholic, all those things, anesthesia. I met a young lady the other day, a woman that her mom died after having a surgery and the anesthesia caused her severe dementia. And then 3 years later, she passed. So, my point is DoAsWeDo was started so people will start having this conversation about it, as well as start changing the mindset by saying, we're doing as we do now. We're showing others what they should be doing and thinking, and that it's okay that they do things differently. Right. And then, supporting the family caregiver that's been out there and that's coming out there, like millennials and Zoomers they're in it and they don't even realize they're in it, right? Us Gen X's and the boomers we're juggling, but I just don't want that for my, any of my friends or family, nieces and nephews, for them to have to go through the figuring this all out, right? Like, it's awful.
The stats right now are 1 in 6 caregivers are millennials. And I don't know the Gen Z stat, but I saw I was shocked at how many younger, it's happening younger and younger and more younger people are being caregivers. And it's, back then, like when my great grandma had Alzheimer's, my grandma was already in her 60s and she already, life was lived a certain way. And so my grandma was like, well, I've had kids and I had a life. I'm going to take care of my mom now.
Yeah.
Not a 17, 18, 19-year-old girl who hasn't even gone to college yet and whose mom has the early onset of Alzheimer's. It's heartbreaking.
It's not fair. It is. I don't, I thought like, the way things usually were, like I was, it really took having a conversation with my sister-in-law to realize that I shouldn't expect my niece and my nephew to come and help. Like, that's not their mother, right? 1, 2, that it shouldn't be it's just assumed. That's not right? Like, my mother wouldn't want this. And it's a conversation we all need to be having. This is the stat that blew my mind from, according to Google, 10 plus million caregivers aged 50 plus who care for their parents lose an estimated $3 trillion in wages, pensions, retirement funds, and benefits. And the total costs are higher for women. Like, that makes my skin crawl. And
trillion. That says TR, everybody. Trillion.
That's bigger than the billions for anybody who failed math.
Woo!
And algebra. I hated algebra. I didn't fail math, but I hated algebra. But, it is, for everybody who's only ever used a calculator in their life, trillion is way bigger than billion. And so can you imagine for those millennials and those those Gen Zs who haven't even made their money
Yeah.
or know how to manage their money or any of it, right? And even had the opportunity to go and live their life. Not cool, people, not cool at all. Like, it makes my stomach turn when I see and I hear about those stats, especially when it comes to women. Like, we bear it, we take it on. And I do feel, you know, God, the higher power, gave us that ability for a reason. Men would, sorry, you know, my dad's my best friend and my brother and I are, you know, I have brothers, but let me just tell you, they're wimps sometimes, you know, like there's a reason why they can't bear children. I'm just saying. It's not an even trade. And I know life is not fair. So let's just talk about it and let's stand up together and let's do something about it. You know, I admire what you're doing and what, you know, Jacqueline's doing, mom of my mom, and so many others, and putting it out there, because, you know, my generation was too scared to do that. You know, I didn't start doing it until I started.
The street.
All right, girl. I'll see you soon.
If they have it bad and all that God a liar,
All right.
tell her that's not a lie.
I will.
We all had the fire. Then if I lose it, I would lose.
All right. Well, don't
You
lose.
got it.
I got it.
You win.
I win. I'll see you soon.
That's awesome. I'm just throwing up some comments of people while Grams comes and talks to us.
She's the best.
She is. Yes. Oh, Mary. Oh, yes. We love. Yes, we do. We love her. We love her. But it is. It's a education process. It's, you know, no one way is the right way anymore. And it is getting out of our own way. You know, like, stop fearing. I get it. We're all afraid of but by this time in our life, we need to just put that fear of our family member aside, you know, because it's not about you. It's about them. It's about your loved one, you know. And I've been told many years in business that, from a good friend of mine, it's not about you, Kimberly. Maybe it's not about you. Maybe they don't want to buy. It's not about you. And I was like, okay. So when you know, like, just talking to you about that, like, it so applies to our loved ones with dementia. Like, it's, you know, like, hello, family members. It's not about you. It's about them.
Yeah.
And
I think just to add on that, like, we are all busy. I know everyone's busy. We all don't have enough hours in the day. Life goes by so fast. Maybe you live far away. Maybe you can't visit your loved one. Maybe a trip from Florida isn't accessible for you. Guess what? We're all on our phones. I know everyone on here right now has a cell phone. And yes, maybe older adults and technology don't always go hand in hand, but hearing is the last to go. If your loved one has their hearing, dementia isn't going to ruin their hearing. Hearing is the last sense to go. So you can pick up that phone, they can put it to the ear. You can say, "Hi, Grandma, I love you." Or, "Hi, Mary, it's Kris. I hope you're having a great day." A voice, an interaction of any kind is possible. No one is too busy. No one is too busy. I guarantee your grandma, your grandpa, your mom, your dad, your loved ones who took care of you will appreciate a 5-minute, 2-minute, 1-minute call, FaceTime. If you can only do it once a week, then do it once a week, but do it. We need to start doing it. We are all so focused on our own little worlds and our own little life that we forget about where we came from and who brought us to where we are today.
Yep.
And our seniors and our older adults are neglected. They get neglected.
Absolutely.
So love the ones when you got them while you got them, and
absolutely
make the energy for it, dementia or not. But really, with the dementia, do not fear it. Educate as best you can and learn that your loved one is still there and they still love you and they still know who you are by the love that you give. Maybe 100%. Not by the words, but by the love.
Yes. And I do believe in karma. I believe in what comes around goes around, and just remember that will happen. Like, I do feel God gives people children and puts it, because one of those children is going to take care of them. You know, I'm going to be totally screwed because don't have any kids, but I'm setting up my life so that that is not going to be a problem, and that I am prepared with that fact that nobody's going to have to take care of me. I'm going to make sure of that. You know, I'm going to go out the way I want to go out. It is absolutely important. But the point is, like, pick up the phone. The technology, like, it would brighten someone. You would be shocked at, if you would put that fear out of your way and get it and put into your mind, it's not about me. What kind of, you know, how you would lift that other person's day, how good that makes you. It will fill you up, right? Like, if you can get out of your way long enough, you know, sharing that joy with someone else, or just saying hello to someone, your loved one, or remembering them, calling them that one time a week, will fill your cup. It absolutely will. And, you know, it gets easier and easier over time when you learn to live in their reality. Perception is their reality, not yours anymore, right? As it comes to dementia. So, you know, just for the sake of time, we thank everybody for joining us. I do want to talk a little bit about the now that we got our lesson in for the day. Oh, please don't let me weird out. Hold on. Oh, Kris. Well, let's see. I might have lost her, but let me tell you, everybody, before we go out, Kris will jump back on. Something good will happen. It's technology, I hope. But go to this resource if you are a caregiver. We had almost 50 caregivers on here. The 29 that are left, please go to this link. If you are a family caregiver with a loved one with dementia, and you are their primary caregiver, whether you get paid by your state, your insurance, whatever, it does not matter. You are still not truly funded. We do a day of care once a year. We give a gift of anywhere. We're hoping it's going to be $500, but I'll let you know. But we give a cash gift or check that you go and spend on yourself. You go do as we do and tell you to go take care of your self-care. I'm going to jump off of here. We're going to go on to Life with Grams Instagram. And so we'll see you there because my computer is wigging out. Bye, you guys. Thank you so much.